Hi there, and welcome to the IGCSE History Options Evening Information Presentation. So who are the staff that are teaching it in Year 10 and Year 11? Well, it's Miss English and myself, Mr Mackenzie. We both teach Year 10 and Year 11. This is a most challenging subject, but it's really rewarding and it will give you a real insight into the big issues of today. So, for example, we've seen the Capitol building stormed in Washington, and a lot of the roots of that issue lie in the long-term problems that America has faced since the end of the First World War. And when we look at what's happening in Europe, you'll understand that by looking at what was going on in Nazi Germany. Also, this course will allow you to become an expert when handling information and making analytical judgments. Employers very much like this GCSE because they know that individuals are going to be incredibly skilled at looking at documents and sources of information and being able to make judgments about their truthfulness and accuracy. So it's a very good one for going on to work and further study. These are the courses we study each year in Year 10 and Year 11. So Year 10 we do 2 modules. We do changes in medicine from the 19th century up into the 20th century. And we start off looking at the 3 main problems of medicine, which is pain, blood loss and infection. And by the end, we are looking at the reasons why the National Health Service was introduced into the UK in the 1940s. Then we go on to study the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party from the end of the First World War and up until 1945 with the demise of the Third Reich. And in this topic, we look at how Hitler came to power, what condition Germany was in at the end of the First World War, and we look at some of the policies the Nazis carried out to cement their rule and change Germany in the 1930s. In Year 11, we look at America from after the First World War, 1918 onwards. We look at the rise of consumerism, modern entertainment, such as radio, sports, jazz music, and how this influenced American culture, all the way up into the Prohibition period with Al Capone flouting the law and running his racketeering gangsters in Chicago, all the way up to the start of the civil rights process. And then we carry on that study further with the divided union civil rights topic, where we look at the conditions of African Americans from just after the Second World War all the way up to the 1970s, when significant changes had been made through the work of people like Martin Luther King and other civil rights organisations. The social and political position of African Americans had improved somewhat. The exam board we use is Pearson, Edexcel, International, GCSE, History, and there is the reference code for the paper. There is no coursework. It is all examined by external exam, with both papers contributing 50% of the final grade. It's 2 external exams carried out at the end of Year 11, and both papers cover 2 modules. And each paper is 1 hour 30 minutes and is worth 60 marks. So it's 120 marks in total are available for this paper. How are the exams marked? Well, it's online by history teachers and it's anonymous. They only work with a candidate number. They don't know who the individual or the school is. And they are really keen to make sure that good students are awarded with the highest mark possible. It's not about catching you out at GCSE, it's rewarding the knowledge you show. Some popular questions people ask about GCSE history. Is there a lot of writing? Yes. It's difficult, it's tough, but it's really rewarding. And you really start to understand how the world works. And you really find it satisfying being able to analyse and make judgments about evidence. Do you need to know lots of dates? No. As long as you have good chronological understanding and you don't say Hitler was still alive in 1945 and you know what the big features of each period are, you can do pretty well. And how do you remember everything? Well, constant and regular revision. That's the secret to understanding this course. Don't leave all the revision to the end just before the exam, but do it periodically across Year 10 and Year 11. We will have our mock exams and regular unit assessments, and that should help you get into this system of preparing for the final exam. And if you really want to know anything more about it, if you want to look at some of the resources we use, then come and see me or Miss English at W35 or W34, or speak to anyone studying history in the years just now, years 10, 11, or the sixth form, and they can tell you a bit about it. Thanks. Hopefully see you soon.